I'm Nancy Norman with Weekly Wisdom. Last week we talked about the law of non resistance, and I had the opportunity this week to put that law into practice. I had a luncheon appointment and was running a little late. When I got to the restaurant, the parking lot was absolutely full. There was not one spot. I drove up and down the aisles over and over again, and I found myself getting more and more tense and stressed. I found that my breathing became shallow and I was gripping the steering wheel. With every turn, there was more shallow breathing. There was tension. There was stress. That breathing was very shallow. And I thought somebody has got to come out of one of those shops or one of those restaurants. I just kept looking at my watch and thinking, oh, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. Fine affirmation, right? That's the frame of mind I was in. And so all of a sudden, there was a couple that came down the aisle and they got into a car, and I thought, oh, good. This is it. I'll make it almost on time. And with that, there was a release. I could feel the tension, I could feel the stress absolutely leaving my body. And I wasn't gripping the steering wheel. Everything was relaxed. My breathing was not shallow. It's like, okay, it's okay now. It's okay. I was not resisting. You see, when we resist, it does a number on our bodies also. I waited, and I waited, and I waited. The car wasn't moving, and I began feeling that tension again. I began resisting the situation again. And all of a sudden, both car doors opened. The people got out, opened the trunk, and were rummaging through their trunk. And I was, again, looking at my watch, wondering when they were going to be finished, wondering when I could get into that restaurant. And then I remembered the law of non-resistance, that what you resist persists. And I thought to myself, okay, well, what would Florence do in a situation like this? And I thought back at our lesson, and what Florence said to do was to, if there was a situation, a person, or a circumstance that you felt resistant about, to baptize that situation as a success. And so I sat in my car and I thought, well, if it's good enough for Florence, it's good enough for me. And so I baptized this whole situation as a success. And then I thought to myself, okay, in The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn, what else did she say about resistance? And she said, what we resist persists. And so she said, begin sending blessings to the person or the situation or the circumstance. And I sat in my car. These people were taking forever in their trunk. And I began sending them blessings. God is blessing you. God is blessing you. I just kept saying it over and over again. God is blessing you. I baptized this situation as a total success. I know that I will arrive at that luncheon appointment in right and perfect time. And all of a sudden, the trunk came down, and they went to the car and pulled out. And I moved into that parking place. And I arrived at my luncheon appointment almost on time. What we resist persists. Now, last week I told you that the things that we meet in life do not hurt us. They are powerless. They are totally powerless to affect us. But it is our reaction to them that can cause us pain. It is our reaction to them. So that idea of baptizing any situation that you feel any resistance about, baptizing as a success, is a wonderful way to move your mind past the resistance into that free-flowing energy of all is well. All is well. And this has come to pass. It hasn't come to stay. Everything is a golden link in the chain. Everything is a golden link in the chain of my good. So, by blessing this couple, by baptizing this whole thing as a success, the resistance was gone. You know, once we start doing that, resistance just falls away. Everything is a golden link in the chain of my good. So, as long as we resist something, a situation, we will have it with us for as long as we resist. What we resist persists. As long as we resist a situation, we will have it with us. So is there something that you're resisting in life that seems to be continually right in front of your face? It's time to release it, to let it go. What you resist persists. And let me tell you this, if you run away from it, it will run after you. It will follow you. So stay right where you are. Ask for God's help. Ask for whatever it is that you're resisting. Just baptize it as good. Send blessings to that person or that situation. And know that everything in life is a golden link to your good. So as I said, once we stop resisting, once we bless a situation or a person or a circumstance, it simply falls away. Now, to be non-resistant does not mean to be a doormat. Sometimes people feel that, and that's not the truth. Because remember, we teach people how to treat us by the treatment we accept. And to be non-resistant, we are coming from a place of strength, of courage, of wisdom, and of love. What we resist persists, but we send it love. When we baptize it as a success, it simply falls away. In the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, Florence Scovel Shinn says this. She said, "Bless your enemy, and you rob him of his ammunition. His arrows will be transmuted into blessings." Bless your enemy, and you rob him of his ammunition. His arrows will be transmuted into blessings. And she goes on to say this, which I think all of us can put into practice on a daily basis. She said, "This law is true of nations as well as individuals. Bless a nation, send love and goodwill to every inhabitant, and it is robbed of its power to harm." Think about world peace and about how you can be a part of world peace by simply blessing every nation, every head of every country. Bless the nation, send love and goodwill to every inhabitant, and it is robbed of its power to harm. Bless your enemy, and you rob him of his ammunition. His arrows will be transmuted into blessings. God bless you, and have a wonderful week.